Welcome to Straight Outta Jersey. Today's podcast is brought to you by Ace Sunglasses. Go to acesunglasses.com.au to purchase some of the best shades around. Use promo code MRG30 and receive 30% off selected brands.
What's up, guys? It's Wednesday. Another great week. We got a lot of stuff. We got some Spider-Man adds a new character. We got Fantastic Four trailer release, and we have much more stuff going on. I'm Joe Zapata, and let's introduce the Avengers team. Dave, DC Callari. What's up, Dave?
Boys, what's going on? Happy Wednesday. Let's get it done.
Yep. And the screenwriter, Rob Alvarenga. What's up, Rob?
Hey, what's going on? I'm getting ready to get straight out of these news, man. It's crazy.
All right, man. So we got a lot of stuff that going on here. First, let's start with so there's a new Frankenstein movie that's coming out that there was a teaser dropped. Oscar Isaac is in it, and they actually showed it, and it's actually getting really big buzz on the internet with Netflix, saying it could be one of the best horror films of the year. Del Toro is directing it, and it's supposed to be really, really good. Dave, I'll start with you. Have you heard anything about this? Are you looking forward to this? Are you a Frankenstein guy or whatever?
Well, I watched it, and I'll give Del Toro a pass on pretty much anything because of what he did with Blade 2.
Okay.
I know he's good. He's got the chops. Pan's Labyrinth, I saw was a little weird. I saw a couple of his other movies. But the trailer looks good. Oscar Isaac is usually a pretty solid choice for any casting. It doesn't really tell you a whole lot.
No,
it looks good. And the only thing I didn't care for was at the end when presumably it's the Frankenstein's monster on the boat throwing people off like he's Neo from The Matrix. And I was like, all right. It definitely has potential. I would probably watch it, but I just hope it's not too modernized, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Rob, I think you're a big horror guy, aren't you? You like the horror stuff, right?
I'm huge into horror stuff. So I'll tell you what the trailer's got going for it. Okay. First, let's just get the easy stuff out of the way. I'm a huge Guillermo del Toro fan. I mean, Blade 2, for the comic book heads, that movie's awesome. But when what I've seen his work, you mentioned Pan's Labyrinth. I mean, I always found that as like a horror fantasy. But he's done some, put it this way, Guillermo del Toro knows how to creep you the hell out. So that's why I thought when he was tabbed to make a Frankenstein movie, I'm like, you're gonna see some really, really, really twisted, freaky stuff in there. So I thought it was just tailor-made for the story. Oscar Isaac, I don't know if people have seen or remember this movie with Ex Machina. His performance in that movie, he scared you because he was just this highly intelligent, genius, but he just he just always had you on your toes, just the way he looks, the way he talked. So him playing Victor Frankenstein, that's another element there that I think between Oscar and Guillermo working together, I think you're going to see something pretty awesome. And what I found was telling of the trailer was that the verbiage, right? Only monsters play God. So I think what you're going to see is Victor Frankenstein is going to be the one that's probably the scariest part of this movie because he just looks all messed up. He tells you that he's got these weird things going on, which brings him to the whole creation of the monster. I think you're going to see a really cool updated version of it. Now, I agree with Dave to a certain point that the whole people tossing off the boat kind of deal, and then you hear him say Victor at the end. I hope that's just the one-off moments that just to show this guy is dangerous, But I think you could do other things with the monster to make him look creepy.
Yeah, it is getting a lot of buzz. They're saying it's going to be Netflix's #1 movie of the year. They believe Oscar Isaac's a fantastic actor. So we'll wait and see. I'm gonna watch it when it comes out. I mean, I'm interested in seeing Frankenstein.
I'm not a
All right,
horror
guys.
guy, but there's a lot of good horror out right now. So to
Yeah.
tout it like one of the best things of the year is like that's high praise.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Horror is kind of having a little bit of a renaissance this year. Yeah, a lot of solid entries this year. So
Mm-hmm.
I agree. We'll
Yeah.
see.
We'll see. Wait and see. All right, guys. In other news, we had Fantastic Four did a test screening. Actually, I don't know if you guys heard about it. And the reviews were mediocre apparently, but there was a post-credit scene revealed. So guys, I'm gonna just mention the post-credit scene. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's happening. I don't know. So just letting everyone know that spoilers are coming. We're going to talk about something that possibly it could be taken out. So the spoiler that they're saying in the post-credit scene is that Sue Storm is there with the baby. She gets up and leaves. She comes back. Victor Von Doom's holding Franklin, the baby. I mean, I don't know. That sounds, whatever. Could be taken. Could be whatever. That's what they're saying is the post-credit scene. I don't know what to think about it. The reviews are mediocre. Here's actually one of the clips that are saying Fantastic Four first step leaves Marvel fans worried. They're not sure with this test screening. Rob, I'll start with you. Anything to worry about with this test screening? Or are you thinking it's just bull?
I'm leaning towards the bull side of things because when I saw the topic for the show, I really had to dive in to see where this is coming from. And so this is what I've kind of surmised. Evidently, one of the screenings, whoever was there covering it for whatever publication or website was there, and evidently he was sitting next to a guy that kept talking throughout the movie. And towards the end, he asked him, "Okay, so what'd you think of the movie?" And this guy said, "Meh." So, but I think that's where this whole worry on the internet kind of took off, because when he wrote that on his piece, I think people would take it as like the auditorium felt like the whole thing was meh. Even the guy that actually wrote like, "Hey, that's not what I wrote. I wrote that this guy said it was meh. I didn't say that the rest of the audience felt that way." And then there was other reports that other people were giving it, excellent marks, which was like the highest rating of it. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that there isn't something to worry about, because lately Marvel has been kind of like shying away from the character development piece. I mean, aside from Thunderbolts, which I thought was done really well by those characters, they don't give you a lot of these characters. They're kind of hoping that, you're like, okay, you've followed us up to this point, just trust us, kind of deal with like how their character motivations are. So being that they're introducing the Fantastic Four, they have a lot to get through with Galactus, the multiverse, how this is going to factor into Doomsday. Maybe there's some things there that they're not mentioning. Maybe that's where kind of like the drive for the rumors for Mech it comes from. But specifically, that story I think has influenced a lot on like what's being heard out there about the test screening. So I'm thinking that we're going to be okay. I really do.
Dave, what do you think about this?
So I'm going to preface it with, even if I didn't know the story that Rob just spoke about, which I do, I remember hearing that at some film festival, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice got a 6-minute standing ovation.
Yes.
Get the hell out of here with that. That was a blatant lie.
That's a great point.
Happy it was over. That movie was fine, but it didn't get 6-minute standing ovation. So every time I hear a lot of this, the test screening stuff, I just kind of take it with a grain of salt, because I don't know who's there to blow smoke up people's butts, and it's industry people trying to get whatever. But I heard the same story that Rob talked about. The one guy was just like, meh. What is that? What does that even mean? It's like when all the kids are like, oh, it's mid. What? Like, I know what you're trying to say, but use more words. So I have a feeling Fantastic Four is going to be fine. The only thing I could see for people not liking it right now at the moment could be what Rob's alluding to, that they may not get their just due in terms of like character development, because we are trying to shoehorn in a lot of stuff before the big character set pieces, right? And it's just got a different feel, right? It takes place on a different Earth. Looks like the timeline's different. I don't know if it's in like the 60s and 70s. It's got this different aesthetic to it. So it definitely doesn't look like stuff that we've gotten previously from Marvel. So people could be like, "Oh, you're trying something new." There's a bunch of different reasons why people could be like, "Eh." But
Yeah.
I think it's also going to be just fine.
Yeah, and I never judge the movie until I see it myself.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of look at it. We'll see. The next big news actually is Spider-Man. And Spider-Man, every week he adds a new character to come in, help him out over there in Queens. So Spider-Man Brand New Day is filming already in the summer. And what they're saying now is now we added a Hulk. Now we're going to have, the Punisher. I don't know what they're doing. I'd rather Spider-Man be more by himself this time, but it's kind of getting crazy. I mean, I like the Punisher's character, but Dave, what do you think about this news that Punisher?
We should call it Spider-Man Brand New Character. Is what we apparently should be calling it. Apparently, and again, I don't know where any of these stories or leaks come from. The Hulk, we talked about this last week. It's got legs. I don't particularly think it makes a ton of sense. I don't think Peter Parker's gone through enough of anything to get him to the level of which it makes sense for him to be with the Punisher, especially when we were getting teased Bernthal writing his own Punisher solo thing for Disney.
Yeah.
I don't know if this has any veracity to it. I'd rather it not. I'd rather give this kid his own solo movie. Like, let's see a real solo Spider-Man flick with no Tony Stark, no other Spider-Man, no nothing. Just do your neighborhood Spider-Man. Like, just do that.
Yep, I think you're right. Rob, what do you think about this news, Punisher?
I'm a little like pissed, to be quite honest, because it's like, okay, how many characters are going to be in this thing? Are we getting like a Spider-Man Endgame kind of deal? Except like, instead of portals, you got people coming out of like New York City apartment built windows, to join in the big fight. I like, okay, Hulk. I like we mentioned before in the last show. I got it. Okay, all right, I'll roll with it. Not the biggest fan about that idea, but you know what? I could see a way to like bring them in. I mean, Punisher just seems so random. I mean, and just the contrast of it alone. You got Peter Parker. He's just it's not like he hasn't dealt with Punisher in the comic books, but usually those storylines are pretty dark. I mean, it has to be given the Punisher. But the way the Punisher's been introduced and been handled in the MCU up to this point, I mean, I don't know. If you're gonna throw in Punisher, Daredevil, are we gonna throw him in too? Because he's already appeared in the Spider-Man, the last Spider-Man movie. So what are we doing? Are we really tying this all together to the series and to the new Marvel presentation for Punisher? I don't know. I mean, I kind of like hinted at it before, but the fact that Sony, is, especially, at least it's been reported, at least that's what I understood, has a little more hands-on say on what they want their movie to be, the Spider-Man movie to be. I'm worried that they're going to Sony this thing up. They just want a big, huge, like their version of like this, character, multi-character centerpiece hovering around Spider-Man. And if that's what's happening here, I don't know. I'm getting worried vibes now.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see. Next week they'll probably have Jessica Jones will be in Brand New Day, and then Luke Cage will. Every week we'll have a new character. It's gonna get crazy.
Sony should just pay their people properly, finish the Spider-Verse movies, and let that be the big multi-mega character flick, and then make this one just Peter Parker. Like I feel like they're just trying to take cues from the stuff that has done really, really well for them, which was the Spider-Verse. The Spider-Man adjacent movies are terrible, so stop making them. So it's like they're just trying to get everything into one movie, and if it keeps going down this road, I want it to be good. I don't think it'll be good if it keeps happening.
No, I don't know. We'll see.
It's supposed to be filming. You said this summer.
Yeah, this summer they started.
Yeah.
When are we writing? What are we writing?
Exactly.
On the day.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
This summer, July. That's what Tom Holland and the reports are. I don't know.
Great.
We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. All right.
Don't see my Spider-Man movie.
All right, man. So we got some email questions that came in. So we're going to actually start off with this one from Dave S. from Montclair, New Jersey. He says, "Great show, guys. I think the MCU and the Disney Plus shows should be separate. I'm not in and not be in the same universe. MCU should stick to movies. MCU Disney shows had a negative impact." Let's see. What do you think, Dave? What do you think? You think they should be separate?
I actually disagree.
Okay.
Not that he doesn't have a point, but when you're because of the phase, and not like phase like the phase that the MCU has gone in. Now we are where we are with the Marvel Universe. What you do get with the TV shows is you get a chance to do some really, really great character and story development because these, like, look at Daredevil, right? What was it, 8 or 9 episodes? So you essentially get like an 8 to 9 hour movie where you can really make some things happen and stick instead of trying to get everything done in a 2.5 hour, maybe 3 hour extravaganza, like as the Spider-Man we're talking about. So I get it can be difficult for some people to stay up on things if it's like a weekly show comes out every week, and then there are some drawbacks to that. But I'm fine with with them interconnecting. I think it makes for a richer universe. But as we always say here, as long as the writing is okay, like it'll make sense. And granted, there's been some stinkers. There's been some stinkers in the TV shows, but you're going to get that.
Yep, you're right. Rob, what do you think about this question? Should they be separate?
Some of these projects, yes, I do. I think some of these characters should have their own thing, just completely separate. I know they're going to try and shoehorn every single tie-in they can, but some of these characters are just, you're never going to see them in the main, movie continuity. You'll unless they get super popular, which is just, that's not really the case, really. I mean, the only one that's really did the crossover so far that we've seen, well, we've seen in the cameo really is, with Daredevil. But with some of the characters we saw in Thunderbolts as well. But today's point, those are usually the characters that have been well written. They've enjoyed a really deep character arc in the shows. Those are the ones that feel like they earn the graduation, if you will, to the movies. But a lot of these projects that they have going on and coming through, yeah, just keep it separate. Just focus on their world. And I think for the most part they try to do that, but you could see when it's like the Disney fight effects, where they try to like really just have a little like tie into like, oh, what could be, it like, I'll give you an example, the one that I'm not really even all that eager to actually see what's going to be, but they're going to have Wonder Man coming out.
Yes.
I mean, I know I'm familiar with the character. He's all right. Does he really warrant a show? And if you are, you better bring something really, really different and don't shoo him into like Doomsday. And people are going to be like, we just saw this guy last week. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with that, but well, we'll see. Keith H said from Midland Park, New Jersey, said, "Yo, movie guys, looks like the Stranger Things released a teaser and will be airing in November." All right.
Yes.
All right. Rob, let's start off with you. Did you see that teaser that dropped?
I sure did. I'm super excited. Sure, the kids are in their, late 30s, going on 40s, whatever. They got to finish this. They got to finish the story. So, but yeah, no, I saw the teaser. I'm super excited for it. I really enjoyed the last season. And the direction it's going, it's like now it's, if you remember, for those who's watched, they really left on a real big cliffhanger where the town is literally getting swallowed up by the Upside Down. And where do we go from here? I can't wait. And so far, they didn't show anything really. They gave just a little bit of samples of what to expect, what the characters or maybe where they are, what they're doing. But overall, yeah, I'm super excited to see this.
Dave, did you see that teaser? What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I got pumped up from the laziest trailer. Like it's just a bunch of clips of like the previous seasons and a few snippets of what looks like new stuff. But I love Netflix. Stranger Things is the reason I got Netflix in the first place.
Wow.
I kept hearing about it, so I did the free trial, the 7-day free trial, and I blitzed it. And I'm like, all right, I'm in. And the thing is, like, I've been hearing people complain that it's been 3 years since season 4, but like we went through the strike, COVID. Like it's not like they weren't trying to get this done.
Mm.
And now it's in 3 parts, right? Like November is the
Mhm.
first episodes, then I think Christmas, and then the big like 2.5 hour finale is New Year's Eve.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. I want to see how it ends.
Yeah.
It was a good show. It was a really good show.
Yeah, it's really good, man. Brought me back a lot of the 80s stuff and all that cool
Yeah,
stuff.
like we all grew up in that time, so it's
Yep.
easy to be like, yeah, remember a lot of this.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Not maybe not so much the alien in the mall, but I remember most of the other stuff.
Exactly. All right, our next question we got is Tim B, Staten Island. He says, "Did you guys hear about a Legend of Zelda movie? I hope it's cast right. Thanks." Yeah, I heard about this. Dave, what'd you think? Did you hear about this, the Legend of Zelda movie?
I know I feel like I've been hearing about it for a while. The only concrete thing I saw very recently, as in like 2 or 3 days ago, apparently some trans actress has been cast as Zelda, and of course everybody's up in their feels about it. I didn't
Mhm.
read too much into it because like I don't care. Not
Mhm.
that I don't care about the movie being made, but it's like these are the types of things that just don't warrant any energy about who's cast and what their pronouns are. Like I don't care.
Mhm.
Get whoever's going to do a good job.
Yep, exactly. Rob, did you hear about that? Legend of Zelda? Are you a fan?
I am a fan. I mean, that's one of those games that I grew up with. So, and I followed the story, really got into the story and the lore of it. So, I mean, I've same thing with Dave. I've heard news about this thing for a while. Um, again, it's going to sound repetitive, but it's like I felt, they have to get the writing. Whoever is doing this show needs to have a real appreciation for the world of Zelda, for these characters, I think we talked a little bit about that with the He-Man stuff. We need somebody that's really going to dive in and embrace the source material. So, forget, whoever's getting casted, I'm with Dave. Look, just give me like the characters that, I know, and just give me this world, that's fully embraced, and just attack it like that. But I don't know. Again, don't give me any hybrid stories. Don't give me like worlds collide. They're in our world versus Zelda. Let's stay in that world. And if it's done right with the writing, you know, it's another one of those shows where it's like, the fantasy aspect of it. It's been proven that it works. Lord of the Rings. It's translated to shows on Amazon. That sort of things like that
Mhm.
can work. But you can't be shy about it. You got to be all in, or just don't do it.
Yep. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm interested in seeing that. Another question we got here from Ron C. Mawa, New Jersey. Hey guys, according to reports, Superman is headed for the biggest opening weekend ever for DC at 170 million. Let's pray. I've heard those reports myself that it would be the biggest movie since Superman and Batman. Superman vs. Batman, I think. Dave, did you hear those reports? I don't know if you did. Did you?
I did not. Makes me wonder if you read the same article like 4 times and just added it up.
Yeah,
Because that is very, very high.
that's what they're saying.
Because even what's been the highest opening so far this year, is it still Minecraft at like,
I think it is.
did they hit over 100?
Hmm. I
I
think so,
mean,
yeah. But that's what the reports are saying.
it,
Even John Campia, I think, reported it
listen,
too. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. That's
I
what they're
would,
saying.
I would love for it to happen just because why not? Like, listen, DC could use a win. Warner Brothers could use a win. Um, everyone, if you're on board with James Gunn, you're just on board with him. So he doesn't need a win, but it would just be nice.
It
You
would be
know?
really nice. Yep.
Um, and
We'll see
then if
what
you guys have been hearing about the whole possible Marvel DC crossover,
I've heard about that, but we'll see.
you know, but I think that only happens when numbers start to come back down and they're like, okay, let's do this. But for DC, the numbers have to get up before they can come back down.
Exactly. Rob, what do you think about this rumor saying the report saying Superman's headed for a big opening weekend?
I mean, I don't know if this is going to sound surprising, but it's kind of like what I was sort of expecting in a way. I mean, I mentioned it briefly when we were talking about Superman when the first, the full trailer came out. And, Superman is just one of these like IPs that, you know what? you put a movie on the screen and you slap the name Superman on it, people are gonna come to see it because it just has that kind of cachet. You have Superman fans all over the world, so it's kind of like the success is big. It would take special focus for you not to hit like a successful number in opening weekend with a Superman movie. At least that's the way I always looked at it. So when these numbers are coming out, I'm like, that's great. Am I confident that's going to be it? I don't know. These are early reports, but honestly, I'm expecting this to do really, really well opening weekend. So honestly, it's just a number right now, but it's not something that's, it's like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. No, it should do really well.
Yeah,
like I could go on right now. I could go on to AMC right now and buy my tickets for Fantastic Four, but I can't buy them for Superman yet. So I'd like to know how they're figuring these dollar amounts out.
Yeah,
when
I don't know.
There's no pre-sale ticket sales happening yet.
Like, I don't know. Maybe the studio's probably saying these numbers. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. This last question came in, and I actually saw it in my inbox this morning. I thought it was actually pretty funny, so I actually brought it up. Are you guys into popcorn buckets? Any chance?
Yes. I think I know what you're going to say.
So this one came in from Ridgefield Park, Vito from Ridgefield Park. He said, I'm not sure if you guys are into popcorn buckets, but did you see the new Galactus bucket release? You need another seat to hold it. What the F? Did you guys see this Galactus popcorn bucket? It's like...
It's huge. It's freaking massive.
People won't even be watching the movie because it'll be in front of your lap, and you'll be like...
Well, you have to buy a ticket for it. It's like I saw it. Not that long ago. I mean, it might have been yesterday, but when I saw the reveal, I was like, "Is that like to scale? Holy crap!"
Yeah. I saw that. I said, "Galactus."
That's a lot of sodium.
That's it. Yeah. I now is it like 7 feet tall or something? That's what they're saying.
It looks like it because it looks like up to here is like your normal size popcorn container, and then you have a whole extra face underneath.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's a little bit crazy.
Every time I passed on the Ecto One popcorn bucket, I passed on the Wolverine popcorn bucket, and I forget whatever else. I think there was a ghost trap for the Ghostbusters movie a couple of years ago.
Yes. Yes.
$45, $55.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like a whole other ticket. Like I like the idea of it, but I'm like, what am I doing with it? What am I gonna do with this collection?
I have one here, but I have it in my room somewhere for one of the from Star Wars, the bucket, Jabba the Hutt one that I have. But it's pretty cool. But those are really expensive. They go really expensive these days now. People collect them.
I would still like to try to get the Thunderbolts Wheaties box in the acrylic case from eBay.
Yes,
we're going for like anywhere from like $70 to $100.
Wow, it's crazy.
So makes sense.
You'll get people those popcorn buckets will go for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do one for Superman too. Maybe one of something. I don't know.
So wait a minute. If these things usually go for like $50 or whatever, how much is this thing going to cost? The Galactus one.
They're collector's items, so people grab them up and then no one has them.
Well, because it's so big, so they got to add more. Is this going to be like an $80-$90 purchase?
Yeah, you'll need a second ticket for it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Big. All right, now we got your favorite part of the show, which is Rob's favorite part, I'm sure.
Yeah, sweating already.
It's both our favorites for different reasons.
Yeah, I could tell.
All right, Dave, I'm going to go with you first, all right? All right? So this movie, 1980, dropped in 1980. Classic movie, one of my favorites.
It's Jaws too.
Oh, sorry.
I was like,
wrong picture. Sorry. Here we go. Nope, wrong picture again.
Wrong picture. I know both of those.
Wow, where is it? Let's see. You know both of them, and I don't think. Let me see. Oh, here it is. This has got to be it. There it is.
Oh, it's Friday the 13th.
No.
Oh, it's not. I don't know then.
All right. Rob, do you know?
Oh, man, that guy with the jaw is like killing me here. Wait a minute. No, it's not him.
He was in the Ted movie.
was in Ted movie.
with Seth MacFarlane, who was a big fan. No, you giving up?
Wait. Is it Flash Gordon?
It is Flash Gordon.
Oh my God!
You got it. It is.
Wow,
Flash Gordon.
that's after the buzzer, but fine.
There is Flash Gordon. Now, these other ones, a couple of them I kind of had to put in. Let's see, Rob. This one is from 1990. It's a little bit. I kind of showed the picture already. I hope you get this one. This is pretty simple.
Well, that should be Pretty Woman.
It is Pretty Woman. It is correct.
Oh, okay.
Pretty Woman.
All right, cool.
This one was the year 2000, Dave, and you should probably get this one. I showed the picture already. You might know. This is pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yep, you're close.
Bewitched. No, not
Bewitched. No. Come on.
You got it. You said it. Come on, you got it.
Come on, Dave.
Deviled.
You're close. Very close.
Oh, come on.
You're very close. You're to the tip of your tongue. I hear
Elizabeth Hurley.
Come on.
Did I just? You said Bedazzled.
Bedazzled. It's
Bedazzled. Yes.
Yeah, it's Bedazzled.
It's Bedazzled. You said it. You said it. All right, Rob. This one was 1992. Okay?
All right.
So, and this is
a
sports one. Okay, let's see if you can get this to finish it off.
Oh, Mighty Ducks.
It's on their jerseys.
It's on their jerseys. Yeah, that's right.
On the jersey, so hopefully you would get it too.
I'll take it. I'll take the easy wins.
The easy ones, yeah. These are getting hard. I have one more. I'll give it to both of you. This one was 1978. 1978.
Oh my God! Isn't that Poltergeist?
No,
that's not it.
Two of them are dead.
Two of them are dead. Jeez.
Yeah, 1978.
The Woman in Blue is familiar.
The Woman in Blue is still alive. The other two are dead.
Is it a horror movie?
No, it's a superhero movie.
Is that it? Why am I saying Superman? No, it's not. That's not.
Is this?
No.
Superman.
No. Yeah?
That's Margot Kidder.
It is Margot Kidder. Wow.
That's Nan, and that's General Zod's two cronies.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. The guy Nan and whatever Ursula. Yeah. Ursula.
Oh my God, Margot Kidder.
That looks like some dime. That looks like a dime store Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
Golden Girls.
I mean,
Lois Lane.
Life gave them uppercuts, man. That's tough, man.
Life was tough. Yeah. Oh boy. All right, guys. Another great week. I will talk to you guys next week. All right, guys. Enjoy. Have a good night, man. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.